guys, this is Stormouse03, and this is my Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings Dark Difficulty walkthrough. I don't know if anyone was waiting for it, but it's finally here. The Harpy contract. I'm gonna finally be killing these freaking Harpies, getting rid of them. I've gotten more than enough of their feathers to make me happy. I'm back to over 5,000 orens from selling off various stuff from the quests, and so I am now going to come back down to this friggin' quarry area and kill these Harpies. But first I'm going to level up, and I'm going to put my points into something here. Probably this magic intensification is likely what I'll do. Although I might go for the roll. Yes, okay. There it is. So I'm gonna do that. I do level up a couple of things in this swordsmanship path, especially now that I have a lot of the magic already. All of the more powerful things and things that I use. You see me rolling around a little bit. Getting that more powerful dodge there, it's not more powerful. It's you roll farther. And the roll in the beginning is just so bad. Like, you cannot get away from anything with that roll. You'll get tagged a lot more than you feel like you should. So getting the upgraded roll is definitely worth it, in my opinion. So if you don't have Harpies, which I didn't, they weren't spawning in, I just made sure to wait until the next morning or whatnot, and then we have Harpies. And what you should not be doing is what I'm doing right now, killing them. Because once you kill them, then there's no one to pick up your Harpy traps. And so, well, that's what I did, like a fool. And then I come over here and sit a Harpy trap down as though anybody's going to do anything with it. Like, I'm sitting here, I'm waiting. I'm like, now I know that they come and pick up these Harpy traps. No, fool. They're not going to come pick up the Harpy trap. You've killed them. So I just love making fun of myself. So, I think these Irinyas do not pick up the traps. It has to be the regular Harpies. This one finally did make her way up to where I was. But what I'm going to have to do, now that I killed the Harpies that were up in this area, is lure in the other Harpies from more down toward the bottom. And I finally realized this after an age, that, you know what, I probably shouldn't have killed those Harpies, because now they're not going to pick up my trap. I am dumb sometimes. Very, very dumb. But anyway, there are going to be 4 Harpy nests in this area that you want to get destroyed. Eventually, I'm going to wisen up and move. Right, so I sat there for an inordinate amount of time waiting for the Harpies that were not going to come and get that trap. So what I need to do is go down and lure the rest of these Harpies. And you can sit the traps down really pretty much anywhere. For whatever reason, I was thinking you needed to sit them down on these boards, and you really don't. They'll pick them up from pretty much anywhere. And you just kind of watch it, wait, you'll see that one of them picked up the Harpy trap, and then you want to make sure that the quest is selected so that you'll see your counter go up. So it now says 1 out of 7 is destroyed, and as soon as one of them is destroyed, you can throw down another Harpy trap. And again, it does not need to be on these wooden things. They will pick them up from wherever you drop them, pretty much, as long as there are Harpies available to pick them up. So you'll see that 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 one has now taken it. And I'm trying to not kill some of these harpies because I want to keep them around to pick up my traps. And so here we go. Sit it down, wait. One of them will pick it up, and then wait for your counter to go up. Because the reason why you don't want to sit down multiple ones at a time is because you don't want them to, you know, set a trap on the same nest twice, basically. So you just want to make sure you get them destroyed one at a time. This is going to be the last one for this area. And so when you get 4 done here, you can move on. You can kill all these harpies, and you can move on into the area where we fought the Harpy Queen. We're going to be just going down to the bottom of the quarry here. And heading through that door into the next area, and that's where I'm going to be picking up my last 3 harpy nests. Or I'm not going to pick them up, I'm going to destroy them. But you get the idea. So one more round of harpy loot from these that you're killing along the way. It's funny to me how it seems like there's always red dots still on the mini-map, as though there are enemies that are still around. I mean, there are a few enemies that are still around right now, but even once I kill them all, there will still be red dots. And that happens a lot, and I don't know whether it's a glitch with the game or whether, you know, it's possible for more enemies to spawn if there's still dots on the map, or what that's about. But I don't know. It just seems like you can't ever get your map clean of red dots. Which is weird, because the whole purpose of red dots on the map is to, you know, indicate to you that there are going to be, that there are enemies, right? Like, I don't know. Add it to the list of things that I don't understand about game design and choices. So you want to come through here, you want to kill these Solano harpies that are going to spawn in this particular area right here. Because again, I don't think that they will pick up any traps and take them to a nest. So you want to just take care of them. Stab them to death in the face. And loot their corpses. And then when you come out here, you'll be able to to swing your sword at a wall. That's what you're going to be able to do. You'll be able to put down a harpy trap for these harpies. So that one will give us 1. So that makes 5 total. We're going to put down another one here and see if this one will take the other one to a different nest. And it will. So that should be 6. There it goes. And this one actually killed itself close enough that I can loot its corpse. Thank you, Harpy. How considerate. And now I can climb up here. And you can get the last trap to these. A funny thing happens right here, though. I tried to put the trap down, and they're trying to get it, but they can't. Why? Because it's in a wall. It's unbelievable, the crazy things that I managed to do. Right? So, like, you'll see the one in the background right there. It's trying really hard. And I'm sitting here rolling around, and I'm like, I'm gonna die because of this stupidness. And so we've got the one harpy left, and I'm like, where is my harpy trap? And I'm thinking, crap, I'm going to have to go back and either reload a save and do God knows how much of this game over again, or go back and buy materials to make another harpy trap, because I'm like, that is definitely stuck in the mountain. It's stuck there. The harpy can't get it. It's confused. It's trying. Look at it trying. It's giving it a really good effort trying to get to this trap, and it can't do it. And so I just sit there for a minute, and I'm like, maybe it will be able to pick it up eventually. Maybe it will, but no, it's just going to sit there and derp around and not be able to do it. And I was actually cracking up right here, because I was like, this harpy, I mean, look at it. It's so confused. It wants the shiny thing, but it can't pick it up. So I just killed it, and I was like, well, we'll see if I can actually pick it back up. And I could. The harpy could not go through the wall to get the trap, but Geralt could. So yay for Geralt. So I ended up not having to go back and buy more harpy trap stuff, and I didn't have to reload anything, which was fantastic, because I really didn't want to do either of those two things. So just be careful about where you put them, because that could have been bad. And then I was trying to put it down just then and realized that it wasn't equipped anymore. Because it was my last one, and when I picked it back up, it didn't put it back into my equipment. So there you go, final harpy trap is placed. This one's going to be oh so helpful, and blow up its nest. Boom! And there is the harpy trap done. And you get the ability Birdman from that, which I think is more damage against harpies. And you fight your way back out of there and head back to Cecil Burden, back in town, to get your reward. You know, which finally, right? Finally we completed this harpy contract. And so one thing to note is that, you know, if you are going for that pest control achievement, this is one of the quests that you needed to do for that. So the next thing that I'm going to do here is progress the main story along. All of the side quests for this area should be done. And the first thing that I'm going to do is come back here to Thorax House. You can get in it now after you've done the Baltimore's Nightmare quest. And there is a receipt in here from Olcan, who is a mage who got murdered at the beginning of this chapter. And you can read this receipt to see about where the chalice was commissioned. And if you remember back to the beginning of this chapter, Saskia was poisoned with this chalice, right? So this sheds a little bit of light on that, although you're not 100% certain who's ultimately responsible. So in any case, that will come into play a little bit later on. You go back to Philippa, speak to her, and that's going to, when you tell her about Triss's bandana, that will start this Royal Blood side quest. It'll go into a cutscene as soon as you leave her quarters, and this guy will tell you that the peasants are having an uprising against the prince. And I leveled up here. You're going to see a lot of leveling up at this point, because you gain a lot of XP from doing these main missions. So now I'm going to put a point into that magic intensification. It just gives you more, you know, power from your signs, which is always good when you're primarily a magic user. And so you're going to come back into this area where we were at the very beginning of this chapter. And you're going to... This is a lot of running around. So I'm clipping out a lot of the talking and stuff. You find out what's going on, and you need to have some conversations with some of these people. So the first people I have a conversation with are these peasants. They give you this quest phase, the walls have ears. I'm going to speed this up because it's just a lot of running around. I don't know why I went this way, but I did. So you come up here to the human enclave. That was the servant who held the chalice, and he tells you that it wasn't him, it was this Olkin guy, and so you're going to try to figure out where he lives, the mage. He was killed, so he can't confirm or deny anything really, but if you go and talk to Cecil Burden, he'll tell you where the mage lived. It's down there by the people who sell stuff, the merchants. So if you come through this way, and head into his room, you'll be able to search his things and find a diagram for the chalice. And so you know that Olkin was involved. That suggests that the prince was probably the person who had this done, but it's not really concrete evidence. And so you have some choices to make at this point. Neither of which really make that much difference, other than a little bit of flavoring to the story, and you'll see a little difference in some of the cutscenes and stuff. I come up here to talk to that dwarf for some reason. I think if Thorak is still alive, you might be able to talk to them, because they had something to do with the making of the chalice. But they're not still alive, so I'm going to come up here and I talk to the nobles, and then you have the cutscene where you have to make the decision, and you can either condemn the prince and let them go forth with the lynching, or say that, you know, it's not a good idea, we don't really know, he should have a fair trial, that kind of thing. That's what I went with, although I do think he's kind of a turd, and I wouldn't mind to see the people beat him to death. All of these people are not likable. Like, the peasants are really irritating and full of themselves, and I don't know why half of them don't wear pants. I don't know. It's very odd. But, so the peasants are irritating, and the nobles are stuck up and full of themselves, and it just feels to me like nobody's right, and I wish I could just slaughter them all. But, in any case, I leveled up again. You won't get his royal blood no matter what. You're gonna have to go to Henselt's camp to get that. You get the elven gauntlets from this, which, again, are pretty good if you don't have the Oathbreaker set. But I do have the Oathbreaker set, and you should too if you've been following along. So no need to keep those. And I'm gonna, I have leveled up twice now, so I put one into the magic intensification again. And I think I'm gonna upgrade this Erden sign, I believe, because of a boss fight that's going to be coming up. Nope, I put it into magical life force. There we go, some more vitality and greater resistance. I think I will be upgrading the Erden sign though before kind of a boss section. It's difficult to remember exactly what I do all the time. Like walk into doors for no apparent reason. And so once you're finished doing what you're going to do with Prince Stennis, you can head on back to Philippa Eilhart's quarters, and that's going to be the last thing that you're going to really be doing in Bergen. for a little while. We're going to take a short trip over to the other side of the mist very soon and be able to check out the area that you would be having as your main place of business if you took the roach path. So you're going to interrupt Philippa during some important business, and then you're going to talk to her about how you need royal blood. She's going to suggest that you're going to have to go, get it from Henselt over there, and that is going to be that. So there we go. And I will be taking you across the mists in the next video. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you there.